The crazy journey of Mac McClung, from underdog to dunk king. How does a 6'2" guard from a small town, overlooked by scouts and doubted at every level, go on to dominate the NBA slam dunk contest and make history? Mac McClung wasn't handed a path to stardom. He built it himself, dunk by dunk, proving everyone wrong along the way. From viral high school highlights to being crowned the king of the dunk contest, his journey is one of grit, hustle, and relentless determination. But how did he go from an unknown underdog to a basketball icon? And is his story still being written? Well, let's find out. Humble beginnings. Mac McClung was born on January 6, 1999, in Kingsport, Tennessee, and grew up in the small town of Gate City, Virginia. With the population barely over 2,000, Gate City wasn't exactly known for producing basketball stars. It was football country. His family had deep athletic roots. His father, Marcus McClung, played football at Virginia Tech, and his mother, Lenore, was a cheerleader there. Sports was a way of life in the McClung household, but even with that background, Mac's obsession with basketball was unique. He was consumed by it. From the time he could walk, he had a ball in his hands, constantly dribbling, shooting, and trying to dunk on anything that resembled a hoop. If there was a moment of free time, he was in the driveway working on his game. Even as a kid, Mac had a certain explosiveness, a raw athleticism that set him apart. His dad noticed early on that his son had an unusual drive to dominate, and according to him, he cultivated his vertical from a young age with years of practice.
And people think that this vertical comes from one thing. It doesn't come from one thing. It comes from years of doing different exercises and putting it all together and having a plan and working hard, not for 1 year.
By the time he joined local youth leagues, it was obvious he was different. He was faster, more aggressive, and played with an edge that kids his age usually don't have. But talent alone wasn't enough. If Mac wanted to make it big, he needed to prove himself on a larger stage. And that's exactly what he did when he stepped onto the court for Gate City High School. High school sensation. By the time Mac McClung stepped onto the court for Gate City High School, he was already known around town as a kid with a different kind of fire. But local hype and national recognition are two different things. At 6'2", he wasn't towering over defenders, and he wasn't some highly touted prospect coming in with college offers lined up. He was just an undersized guard with a motor that never stopped, at a height that defied logic in basketball. From the moment he got his chance, Mac played like he had something to prove. He attacked the rim like every defender was daring him to, launching himself into the air with reckless confidence. His first real breakout moment came in a game where he threw down a dunk so violent that the entire gym lost its mind. This was the first time people outside of Virginia started asking, "Who is this kid?" And then it kept happening. His highlights started flooding YouTube and Instagram. He wasn't just dunking, he was doing it with an energy and flair that made people watch his clips on repeat. He finished his high school career as Virginia's all-time leading scorer, breaking a state record previously held by Allen Iverson.
Mac McClung is now the all-time career scoring leader in Virginia boys basketball history.
But being a high school legend and making it in college are two different things. Mac had the highlights, the records, and the attention. Now he had to prove that he could do more than just dunk. College roller coaster. From the moment he stepped onto the court for the Hoyas in 2018, it was clear that his game was evolving. He was still explosive, but he wasn't just relying on highlight plays. He attacked defenses with fearless drives, showed off a smooth mid-range jumper, and played with the same relentless energy that had made him a star in high school. He led all Big East freshmen in scoring, averaging 13.1 points per game. His biggest moment that season came against Arkansas Little Rock, where he dropped a career-high 38 points, proving that he could take over a game with more than just athleticism. But just as quickly as things were trending up, adversity hit. In his sophomore year, he battled a foot injury that forced him to miss a chunk of the season. Even when he played, he wasn't at full strength. The explosiveness that made him special wasn't there, and frustration started to build. He had moments where he reminded everyone what he was capable of, but the season didn't go the way he had planned. By the time the 2020 offseason arrived, Mac made a decision that caught a lot of people off guard. He was transferring. Georgetown had given him a platform, but he needed a fresh start, a new system, and a bigger role. He landed at Texas Tech, a program known for its hard-nosed defense and discipline. He hit clutch shots, including a game winner against Texas, and took on a leadership role. But just as it seemed he had finally found the perfect fit, when draft night arrived, everything changed, and not in the way he hoped. A rough start. Mac McClung had done everything he could to get to the NBA. He had the college highlights, the clutch moments, and the work ethic that scouts love. But none of that mattered on draft night in 2021. Name after name was called, and with each pick, the hope started to fade. By the time the final selection was made, Mac's worst fear had become reality. He went undrafted. For some players, that's the end of the road. For Mac, it was just another challenge. He wasn't about to let one night define his future. Within days, he signed a summer league deal with the Los Angeles Lakers, determined to prove he belonged. He showed flashes of brilliance, quick bursts of scoring, fearless drives, and of course, the electrifying dunks. But it wasn't enough to secure a full-time roster spot. Instead, he was sent to the G League, where he joined the South Bay Lakers. This was where everything changed. If teams weren't convinced about him before, they had no choice but to take notice now. Mac dominated in the G League, averaging over 21 points per game and showcasing an all-around offensive arsenal. He wasn't just throwing down highlight reel dunks. He was running the offense, knocking down threes, and proving he could be a leader. His efforts earned him the G League Rookie of the Year award, a sign that he was on the right path. That success led to brief stints with NBA teams. He signed a 10-day contract with the Chicago Bulls, then later another with the Lakers. But neither turned into a long-term deal. Every time he stepped onto an NBA court, he played with urgency, knowing he had limited time to make an impression. He put up solid numbers in those short opportunities, but it still wasn't enough to secure a permanent roster spot. Still, Mac refused to let frustration get to him. In 2023, he joined the Delaware Bluecoats, the G League affiliate of the Philadelphia 76ers. This was his best season yet. He led his team to a championship, earned league MVP honors, and became the face of the G League. That was the moment he knew his NBA dream was still alive. Then came the invitation that changed everything. The NBA wanted him in the 2023 Slam Dunk Contest, and what happened next? Nobody saw it coming. Slam Dunk Contest. McClung walked into the 2023 NBA Slam Dunk Contest as an afterthought. Most casual fans had no idea who he was. Some even questioned why he was there. He wasn't a high-profile NBA star, not even a regular rotation player. He was a G League guy, a name that only die-hard basketball fans knew. But by the time the contest was over, there was no more doubt. Mac McClung wasn't just there to participate, he was there to take over. The first dunk set the tone. Wearing his high school jersey as a nod to his roots, he took off from just inside the free throw line, cleared two people, tapped the backboard midair, and then threw down a reverse dunk. The judges barely hesitated. 50, a perfect score. The arena erupted, and suddenly everyone was paying attention. Then came the second dunk. He cocked the ball back behind his head, rotated 540 degrees in the air, and slammed it home. The crowd lost it. Commentators were in disbelief. Fans who had barely known his name minutes earlier were now screaming like they'd followed him for years. He was putting on one of the best performances the dunk contest had seen in years. Even Shaquille O'Neal, one of the judges that night, summed it up. "You saved the dunk contest." It was a statement of fact. The event had been losing its excitement in recent years with forgettable performances and uninspired dunks. Mac brought it back to life. By the time he threw down his final dunk, another perfect 50, it was official. Mac McClung had won the contest in dominant fashion. But in reality, he had won something even bigger. He had gone from a G League player to a household name overnight. His highlights flooded social media. NBA stars tweeted about him, and suddenly, he was one of the most talked about players in basketball. And Stephen A. also made sure to compliment him on this.
Mac McClung, because he saved the slam dunk contest over the last 3 years. We want to give him his respect where it's due, and to be a G Leaguer, to be a guy that's got 3 championships and he only played 5 games in the NBA. I mean, my God, he almost has as many slam dunk titles as he has participation in NBA games. That's what we're talking about here.
Winning once was incredible. Winning twice was special. But what Mac did next put him in a category of his own. And once again, he made sure the world was watching. The three-peat, cementing his legacy. Coming into the 2024 contest, there were doubters. Some believed his first win was a fluke, that he had caught lightning in a bottle. But Mac didn't just win, he dominated. He executed a 360 windmill over a seated defender, threw down a double clutch reverse dunk that left the judges speechless, and capped it off with a never-before-seen off-the-glass alley-oop that sealed his second straight title. It wasn't just about power or height. Mac was creative in a way that made his dunks feel fresh, something the contest had been lacking for years. After the second win, his name started being mentioned alongside some of the all-time greats, Vince Carter, Michael Jordan, Nate Robinson. But even those legends hadn't done what Mac was about to attempt. No one had ever won 3 straight dunk contests. The stage was set in 2025, and if Mac was feeling any pressure, he didn't show it. The moment that defined the night came on his first dunk. A car was rolled onto the court, and fans braced themselves for something special. Mac grabbed the ball up from a teammate who was hanging out of the sunroof, cleared the highest part of the vehicle, and threw down a reverse dunk.
Right? Gotta catch it first. Party.
Oh my gosh. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Mac.
It was an immediate 50. From there, he pulled off a double ball dunk, grabbing one with the ladder while catching another from a teammate on a hoverboard. Another perfect score. His final dunk sealed the three-peat. With Cleveland Cavaliers big man Evan Mobley standing on an elevated platform, Mac leapt over him, tapped the ball off the backboard midair, and threw it down with authority. The arena exploded. The judges didn't even hesitate. Another 50. 3 straight years. 3 championships. No one had ever done it before. Mac McClung has already done what no one else in NBA history has. Won 3 straight slam dunk contests. The question now is, will he come back for a 4th? Many believe he should retire from the event while he's on top, leaving his perfect legacy untouched. But Mac has never been one to back down from a challenge. If he feels he has something new to bring to the contest, don't be surprised if he steps back onto the stage and tries to make history again. If anyone can find a way to raise the bar even higher, it's him. What do you think about Mac McClung's incredible journey? Do you think he'll go for a 4th dunk contest win? Or will he finally secure a full-time NBA spot? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for even more amazing videos like this one.